Video. Alright, so, yes, AneCanAstrawman. Connect to a conversation with Anti-Bullshit-Man, which I have plenty of criticisms of some of the things he says, and it always gets into the devils in the details, as they say, and whether you need the minutia anyway, to draw conclusions based on minutia. But anyway, the theme is doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, and when that is consequential or meaningful or problematic. And of course, AneCanAstrawman doesn't pay any attention to the when that might be a problem or a circumstance. He just does his blanket pigeonholing of all philosophies other than his own are totalitarian dogmas imposed on the mind of man. And only the AneCanAstrawman Tantra philosophy has any integrity because it isn't imposed like every other philosophical position. Something like that. It doesn't come from a preacher. And as he preaches his philosophy, he says this crap. He's such a... the straw man is so monstrous. The hypocrisy, the duplicity of this creep. You can't put words together honestly, ever. Just disgusting. Especially coming from an asshole who cites his authorities, like Nietzsche. Quotes his assholes constantly. His fables of relevant reality. As if there's some distinction between letting the fable, the cartoon character, tell you the truth versus taking it from a priest. They're both a brain fucking. Doesn't really matter. Obviously the priest sometimes will actually fuck you. But anyway. It's just, there's nothing to say. It's deplorable that this is the standard for conversation, that he can't ever stay on the subject and always perverts it, bends it to his perverse purpose of maligning all philosophy but his own selfish country. And not maligning it with an argument based on anything real, just Hitler, Mussolini, preacher, evil nun. All other philosophies have their origin in some subversive, insincere effort to control your brain. For what purpose, I don't know. Anyway, to fool you, deceive you. And he's the one using all the gobbledygook. Anyway, so it started with this simple argument, well, first, Anti-Bullshit-Man is out of bounds in the sense that he makes an argument that somehow vegans are playing some sort of vanity war game. Some percentage of them or some group of them. And at the same time, then he says something like, well, here I'm gonna make an analogy to a circumstance where I'll change one factor and nothing else changes. So he's implying that they have motives based on things that do change, and he wants to analogize that to a circumstance where he gets to define the one thing that changes. Obviously, the vanity argument doesn't work if there's nothing to be vain about, if there's no evidence of your winning the award. And so his analogy is kind of moot in the sense that he compares things that have no... He compares 5 bronze medals to 1 gold medal. He says because they're all metal, it's the same. Well, it's not. But anyway, there's no point. And then he says, but don't, nothing else. Like I said, if I'm not allowed to say bronze medals are less valuable, then your analogy falls apart because that's not the real world. Because in the real world, bronze medals are less valuable. But anyway, So anyway, but the point is that yes, vegans are vegan for a lot of different reasons, and it makes AneCanAstrawman's argument so silly, in the sense the distinction is, you know, health reasons, or it's not like they're the wrong reasons, they're just different reasons to be vegan, but they're all rational reasons, and they're not based on a priesthood or a dogma. They're based on reasoned arguments. People make rational arguments about cruelty. They're rational arguments. Guess what, AneCanAstrawman? Rational arguments you haven't refuted with anything called evidence. You haven't demonstrated except beyond saying what's in it for me. And yeah, that's about as depraved and ignorant a thing a human brain can compose as a statement on the subject of ethics. Yeah, it's vacuous on the subject of ethics. Vacuous. You fucking imbecile. Yeah. So, I mean, a 5-year-old can do it. Yeah, that's the impressiveness of it. 5-year-olds can eat their poo, and they can say, what's in it for me? And mean it. And think they're still rational. Jesus. What a fucking piece of work. Anyway. Alright, so... yeah, so it's just like completely off subject. So obviously, there's nothing negative about a vegan being vegan because they think it's healthier, or because they think it's consistent with Gaia or something. Yeah, it's a different philosophical reason, therefore I might not have any use for it. Might be the difference between a liberal who believes in welfare and cultural annihilation, you know, and a progressive who believes in civilization and an earned economy. Yeah, they might both be called Democrats at some point, but yeah, they don't really have anything in common in terms of big picture. You know, through a narrow lens, you could see commonality in some of the end game purposes, which is kill the rich. But besides the common purpose of killing the rich, they have nothing in common. And yes, besides the let's save a tiny percentage of the animals being tormented on Earth, a tiny percentage, 0.00000000000000001% of the animals being tortured on Earth. Yes, good, fine. I'm glad we can agree to save 0.0000000000001% of harm from happening. But yes, that's where we part company, because yes, I want to do the rest of the percentage, the big bulk of the harm being caused. I want to shove a cork in that vagina also, Mother Nature's vagina. Yes, I want to shove a big lead cork in her fucking cunt, because she's a psychotic lunatic with no brain. She's almost as dumb as Nietzsche. Almost. Because she's too dumb even to say what's in it for me. She's too dumb to be as dumb, yeah, as AneCanAstrawman. Because she can't even compose something as stupid as what's in it for me. Ironic. So anyway, yeah, so there's not, you know, I just figured I'd make this video just to counter-argue and just to point out, I know what you're doing, AneCanAstrawman, you lying scum. It's not unobvious. You propagandizing creepy fuck. You lying sack of shit. To sit there and pretend your philosophy isn't some sort of dogma preached. You don't even speak English, for fuck's sake. You have to hide your philosophy in a bunch of fucking creepy little words. You know, when your philosophy is simply described as evade the truth, evade the truth, evade the truth wherever possible. If it's inconvenient, evade it, ignore it, find some way to step over it. The truth is irrelevant. There is no truth. We'll just make that our dogma. Preached from AneCanAstrawman, the authority. He knows there's no truth. He told you so. fuck? It's obvious. You know, the dictator has spoken. So what the fuck? Why pretend? You know, there's no pretending to be done. Oh, fuck. My creepy old neighbors. Wish they could run over. They're not supposed to even be in this town anymore. Oh, anyway. So, yeah, pew. Anyway, so where was I? AneCanAstrawman, another piece of crap. You know, it's philosophy should mean something. You should have some sort of discipline, some sort of obligation to once in a while defend your accusations with something like evidence. So if you're going to make this accusation that there are preachers who don't want people to understand the subject, they just say, be me, you know, love me. You know, unless you're going to point your argument at those people, fine. But there's nobody in this segment of advocacy for veganism that's doing anything close to that. They don't have clubs. They're not playing any superiority games. They're merely requiring you to have a rational argument, and you don't have one. Plain and simple. And that's bullshit. Preposterous bullshit. Yeah. Well, hopefully the cops will take care of those people eventually. Yeah. Hopefully. They'll do what they're supposed to do in this town. Get rid of the trash. Anyway. Oh. Ugh. Can't even. I wish I could elaborate. Yeah, but what you learn by living next to people. Ugh. Hey. Cleaning up after them. Anyway. So, yes, if you're going to make the accusation that we are Hitler-like, or Mussolini-like, or dictator-like, or all of this crap, then come up with that piece of evidence, for fuck's sake. Because all I see is people making reasoned arguments and explaining why it's reasonable to be vegan. And none of it has anything to do with style, or you'll be lucky, or any of that shit. You're the one selling happiness, jackass. You're the one selling the promise that, oh, I escaped my depression with this cure, which is nihilistic country. And it's okay. It's not an ethical problem, because there is no such thing as ethics. I mean, that sounds like a religion. A fucked-hearted one. Anyway. Yeah, that's enough. It doesn't matter whether it's enough or not, I'm done. A hawk. Yes. Doing hawk-like things. Flying. Looking as if he wants to swoop and such. Yeah. Yes. I guess he's looking for some... I don't know, he's looking for something. No, it's probably that he smells those people. Anyway, till next time. Yeah, they smell like carrion. Okay, till next time.